All right.
Good evening, everyone. We're going to go ahead and call the meeting to order at this time. Please turn off all cell phones, electronic devices to off and vibrate at this time. Mr. Art, will you please lead us in our prayer and pledge this evening, sir?
Father God, we are so grateful for your many blessings and for your love. I pray that you will guide us today. Father God, help us to make the decisions that are in the best interest of the citizens of Ballinger and in your will. I pray this in Jesus' name. Amen. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, sir. All right, consider approval of the minutes of the September 5th, 2017 meeting, please.
I make a motion we approve the minutes as presented.
As presented, no corrections. Amazing. I have a second.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Thank you. All right, visitors who are not on the regular agenda will be given the opportunity to address the council on any subject at this time. Is anyone present that is not on the agenda, please? All right. All right, consider a request to waive the cleaning lien fee on property located at 600 South Broadway belonging to Moriah Baptist Church. You should have that in your packet.
This goes back to a charge that we assessed the church, looks like going nearly 7 years ago, for $4,700 and $4,740.93. The church has requested that we waive this fee. As my understanding is they're just financially unable to make this payment and to ever get caught up. It's council's prerogative of what we should do. We can keep trying to go after it, or we can just simply waive it.
Theoretically, we have a couple of choices, right? We could waive this completely, or we could put a lien against the property that we never sold.
Yes.
Because they truly hadn't paid anything from.
Have they paid anything about?
No. And it's one lot down there?
I think there's two.
2 lots? And
What?
what are the chances those 2 lots are worth
Someone
$4,740?
can't build down there,
Yeah, so they're not.
Yeah, legally you can put a lien on it. I just don't think.
Well, I'm just saying, would we want
Even if they,
the money for the
If somebody came back and bought it, they're going to ask us to waive the lien in X years.
Well, it's already been, what, 3 years since anything's been done?
Nearly 4.
Yeah.
If I'm on that,
Yes, sir.
have they said what their intentions are with,
No, they just wanted to clean the records up.
well, the thing about it is, you know, that was part of the, tearing down and disposing of the old building. And, they've never made any attempt to clean that lot or mow it. We've mowed it every year since, and we have to mow it 2 or 3 to 4 times a year. And that's not included, a mowing time is not included in that price. The city has been asked several times in different locations about, disposing of those fees and taking them off, you know. And I know that y'all decide to do that a lot of times, you know, but I personally feel like, you know, there's a line that we have to draw somewhere. I mean, if they're not going to do anything with them anyway,
Are we charging them for when we mow?
we haven't been.
I mean, it looks like, back in 2010, we said clean up at Mount Moriah, it was $1,422.90. They paid that, or did we credit that
I
off?
don't think it's a credit.
We did the credit memo.
And then, we invoiced us $250 for something,
Nah,
in 2013,
Probably more.
and that was a payment. They paid $250 in 2014. And then January 2014 is when we tore down the church.
Well, see, we did that in two stages. We tore the building down in two different stages.
Okay.
We tore part of it down because they wanted to keep one part and
I remember that.
but we want to make a little community center type deal out of it. But then they decided not to. And so we went ahead and condemned it. And tore it
So we tore down the first half of it in 2010,
Probably.
and we tore down the rest of it in 2014. That's ringing a bell now.
And does anyone think they're gonna have the financial means to pay this debt off at some point?
No. Not even if they
I
sold it.
assume, Brian, this is not meant Moriah, but Jesus Christ, it's meant Moriah fund, it's no longer.
I believe
Thank you.
Okay.
It's where my lot was.
I used to go to Jesus Christ Church, you know, it's a true church. It's a true church.
Mhm.
Myself, I'd like to see this way.
How about if we,
Would they, I know the property value doesn't equate to this, but would the city own the property?
I think, given its location, it wouldn't sell anyway. We would probably end up buying it on
Right.
a sheriff's sale or something to that effect.
$200 or something.
Requiring it, whether we're requiring it like they've done in the past.
To Steve's point, the fact that there's continuing maintenance and upkeep on it,
Right.
I have a concern about that moving forward. I think, if we waive this, you know, I don't know if we can make a condition, you know, that they have to do the upkeep and they have to do the maintenance, or we can, again, but the only alternatives that we have for the mowing and the upkeep is a lien.
Right.
And most of those liens get waived at a future date anyway. Whoever buys it, you know, if Langston comes in and says, hey, I want to buy this property from you, I want to get it back on the tax roll, but I want you to waive this $250 lien that's 20 years old. Most of the time, we just say, okay, we'll waive that lien just to get it on the tax roll. This is a little different since it's a church. Obviously, it's not subject to ad valorem, but I agree with you. I think they're not going to be able to pay this. We have two options. We either keep this out there and just let it hang out there and have this debt that's never going to get paid. We put a lien on it, which we're going to probably waive anyway in the future. Or
Well,
we
you know, that $4,700 may not impact some churches.
it would impact that one greatly.
It would impact that one dramatically.
You were going to say?
well, going to Bob's point here, what if we, approach them if they just want to get it off the books? That, we would, forego the lien in lieu of the property,
In lieu of what?
trading the property. They
That's
give
what,
the city the property with,
that was what.
forego the lien, yeah.
That's what I was trying to,
We would just assume the property?
yes.
And we were gonna maintain it anyway.
Yeah, I
Is
mean,
that property totally separate from the existing church?
that's what I was wondering. That's what I didn't know.
Yes, it's, block away.
It's on the block or two back.
Okay, yeah, I didn't know if they overlapped or anything like that.
I mean, at a minimum, I would think that, at a minimum, what we'd want to say is, if we don't trade outright up front, we say, if you ever do want to sell the property, we're gonna apply that $4,700 and it goes to the city. Does that make sense?
That would be the same as a lien.
Well, yeah, but I don't know how you make that contractual.
There's no way to do it without putting a lien on it. You can't.
If I had a guess, Brian, I didn't want to relinquish it.
That would, yes.
So we want to table this, do we ask them that question?
I can ask them to be at the next meeting.
I mean, because if they have plans for it, I mean,
But they,
Rather than,
yeah, I mean, I'm assuming they don't, we're making the assumption they don't have
But
it.
they don't have any
Plans
funds. If
for it.
she just said that they can't build on it anyway, they don't have any funds.
mean, if they have plans for it, I mean, well, you could put a awning, I mean, you could put
You could,
with no walls, you could put that.
you put a slab out there and do a little cover.
Yeah,
In the old days.
yeah,
Yeah.
if that's what they wanted to do, they could do something like that, that'd be fine.
Would this property help with our sports complex that we're gonna have in the future?
I don't think, I think the geography is a little tricky.
Parking, something?
It was a church, built, and there was a parsonage right there.
Okay. Yeah, I've been to Jesus Christ Church.
No, Mount Moriah.
Well,
It is Jesus Christ Church.
The old Mount Moriah,
was behind it.
couple of blocks or so.
This is in question, this is block.
Bo, do you know of any plans they have for this property?
No,
Have they mentioned anything?
no.
Well, let's ask them that question, because we could solve
We want to
those
table it?
two issues.
Do you wanna make a conditional offer in that, in a sense of, if they have no plans for that, then we would assume the property and forgive this? Or do you wanna have them come in and
No, I mean, if they'll agree to that, then I don't know if they need to come in, if they say it's okay.
Yeah, I think that's a good proposal.
Yep.
So, the land for this.
yeah, so we make an offer tonight. If they agree to it, then there's no need for them to come in at a later date. If they don't agree to it, then we need to figure out, we wanna know what their plans are for that before we start forgiving.
Okay, so,
Does that make sense?
yeah, so you need a motion that we will, forego the $4,740.93, in lieu of the property being transferred to the city of Ballinger. The property in question being transferred to the city of Ballinger.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Thank you. Disappeared. All right, we're gonna skip number 6 and move on down to number 7. Consider closing 3 streets around Dankworth Packing Company. You should have all that information in your packet as well.
Those are all, Mayor, those are all, areas of streets that never been opened, but, the property is owned on both sides by Dankworth Packing Company, and, the animal appraised, and, was $150, and that's probably more than the worth, but anyway, that's what the packing company will pay to the city for the lots, since they own it on both sides, and statute actually requires there to be some appraisal and payment to the city on the closing small street, even small streets or alleys, and so that's been taken care of, and he's aware of it. I've gone over it, and they've got a good survey for a change that'll be good on the property, and still have hopes that maybe somebody will take over the property and run the packing company.
Okay. We have a motion to accept the closing of the 3 streets around Dankworth Packing Company.
I'll make that motion.
We have a second?
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye. Would that, do we need to modify that for $150? Or is it $10?
$10 under considerations, $150.
Yeah,
This is,
well, that's,
This is
and
$2,
a sample?
another good and valuable consideration.
Do we need to modify the motion or?
Yeah, just for the record, just to clean it up, just say it's 100. Modified to $150. Paid by Dankworth.
We need to vote on it?
We,
Sure.
We need a second?
He made a motion, but the mayor here said a second.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
I second that motion. I second-
You what?
I second that
You already said it? Okay. Then we say all in favor.
Aye.
Thank you. Good.
If I need a second,
Who's on first?
it's a package of sausage.
it's not a package of sauce.
All right, discuss and act to pass an ordinance to set the city tax rate for 2017. You should have that highlighted in front of you at your,
There's a table, it's the same table that's been in y'all's packet for a number of weeks. The effective tax rate is 0.50167. The actual current tax rate is 0.51195. We had a proposed rate of 0.55786. That's also your rollback rate from the appraisal district. Staff recommends a 4% increase to 0.532428. That'll generate an approximate $73,363.13 in additional revenues. On a $100,000 house, your total tax levy would be, from the city, would be $532, or a $20 annual increase. That comes up to $1.71 per month. Is that all clear as mud?
So we've been publishing 0.55786.
Yes. And you can
We're only going up to 0.532428.
Yes. And you can come off, and you can, I would not recommend the effective rate, just simply because with the way the legislature is, we don't know if we're going to be, we don't know if we'd ever get that back. I would recommend the current rate as an absolute floor. The 4% increase represents $73,000. I think we've increased the budget roughly,
110.
yeah, 110,000. And so these funds would go into primarily street improvements, capital fund. We got some truing up to do in the PD a little bit, and so we can true some of those numbers up as we move forward.
Make a motion, we approve the 4% increase in the ad valorem tax rate.
second,
I second that motion.
all in favor say aye.
Aye.
No, Mr. Mayor, it has to be a roll call vote.
Okay. Councilman Arnold, yea or nay?
Aye.
Councilman Kelly, yea or nay?
Yes.
Councilman Wences, yea or nay? And Councilman McDaniel.
Aye.
And I am an aye as well.
Unanimous.
All right. Discuss and act to adopt the 2018 fiscal year budget. You should also have that in your packet.
This is the same budget that we've had discussed numerous times. We had a meeting on the 5th. We also had an additional meeting on the 12th. We heard no concerns at either one about any particular issues. Council, what's y'all's pleasure?
I'm good with it. I mean, we've discussed it several times. I've looked it over.
Just as a formal review, our budget's increased to $110,000, $241.27. That's a 2% increase year on year. Of that $110,241, $70,200 of that is health insurance increase. So while the budget's going up 2%, 1.3% of that is health insurance. So, overall, you're looking at a $40,000 budget increase on a $5.5 million budget. So it's really pretty flat.
Definitely.
And of that, we have $288,000 scheduled in capital expenditures.
Any other questions or comments?
Bob, you okay with that?
Yes, of course.
Lloyd, you okay with that?
I make a motion that we
Welcome.
approve the 2018 fiscal year budget as
This is also a roll call.
presented.
Yeah, there's a roll call.
It is also a roll call as well. So Councilman North,
Aye.
Councilman.
Wait, second.
But
The motion is to accept the October 1, 2017 to September 30, 2018 budget as presented.
As presented, yes.
thank you.
Need a second.
Second.
Very good.
Second.
All in favor, say aye. Now, you just said.
Now it's a roll call vote.
Thank you. That's what I was saying.
Now it's a roll.
Roll call.
Councilman Arnold.
Aye.
Councilman Kelly.
Aye.
Councilman Fuentes.
Aye.
Councilman Daniel.
Aye.
And myself as an aye as well.
This is the pirate council.
Just for clarification, the statute requires that you do roll call votes on tax rate and budget.
Correct.
So,
We want to follow the
We only do
rules.
this once a year, you know.
We want to follow the rules.
did Mr. Jones leave?
He stepped out right before his time. I don't know what he wants.
No, I didn't.
Okay. All right, discuss and act to change section 3.08 of the personnel policy to change the vacation carryover date from October 1 to January 1 of each year.
Okay, as most cities do, we have a use it or lose it policy where you can only accrue so much vacation and personal days where you lose them. Same thing applies to sick leave as well. And while that policy has merit, you don't want people just hoarding vacation time. Would you like to participate, Joe?
We are. We just have our own.
The timing of this policy is clearly to go into the fiscal year, but practically it's a bad time. It's 95 degrees outside and it's plenty sunshine and there's lots of good things that we could be doing. But the street department has 3 guys in it today because we have this policy where everybody has to go on vacation or they will lose it. And various times it's been the water department. Scott came in and said, I'm taking this week off. And I said, where are you going? He said, nowhere, but I have to take it off or I'll lose it. And so I don't blame them for that. I would like to move this date back to January the 1. That would encourage some of our employees who, let's just face it, they wait till the last minute anyway, to take their vacation time between Thanksgiving and Christmas when it's 30 degrees outside and there's not a lot of street work to be done. And I can do some things with 3 people. Does that make sense?
It makes sense, but so January 1, that's not gonna be a hardship though on the city if you got all these people that are taking it in at Christmas time.
We typically have everybody go on vacation anyway at Christmas time. You can almost, after Thanksgiving, and this is the 3rd city I've been at, and it's been true for my 8 years of doing this. After Thanksgiving, virtually nothing gets done. And that's just, people go on vacation, they do things. After Christmas, between Christmas and New Year's, it's a skeleton crew all the way around. You'll have people here and you'll have people working, but you won't have a full water department, you won't have a full street department. You won't have a full staff up front.
Are there going to be any complexities with moving that systemically to January 1? No issues? Okay, cool. Sometimes that can be a nightmare. Make a motion that we move the vacation carryover date for the city of Ballinger employees from October 1 to January 1.
Second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Thank you. All right, consider approval of building permits.
Okay, signature at 502 North 6th. We're gonna do a roof replacement. And Melvin, Harnick, 300 Sharp, gonna build a garage. 20-24 foot garage. And I have one coming today. It's a home remodel. Daniel and Chandler Colossus at 804 Lavelle. We're going to remodel a house. And I looked at these and everything should be up in line. Shouldn't be any problem.
I'm just gonna ask one question. I didn't know we had to get a building permit for a roof replacement.
Well,
That's just a question. I don't-
actually, they did used to years ago, but he came in and said he wanted to get one anyway, and so.
So on the remodel, is the same way? If they're just gonna remodel or?
Well, he's gonna do some tearing down.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's gonna be some replacement.
Because I was gonna say I did the kitchen remodel, I did not get that.
You owe the city $15.
He's not
Either
adding,
I'll stop by after this.
he's not adding square foot, he's just tearing down some rooms and putting back.
Okay.
New stuff.
And what about the roof? Is he actually doing what he had planned a year or two ago about going?
No, he thought he was just putting on a roof.
Okay, that's why, when I heard that, I was like, uh-oh, is this again?
We'll need to come keep an eye.
Yeah, that's what it's saying. All right, motion to accept building permits as presented, please.
Make that motion?
Second?
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Thank you. All right, here's the police activity monthly report from Chief Stanley Maresch.
Now that I got all my numbers in. For the month of August, we had 12 arrests, 347 calls for service, 67 citations, and $7,300 plus report fines. School starting up, a lot of things slowing down, so, we are doing National Night Out, October the 3rd. I do hope to see that everybody's out and about.
We won't be here.
You won't be here?
I'll get to that in a month.
Well, we don't need you. So,
Probably more fun.
but right now, we're, looks like it's gonna be a good turnout, for something that Ballinger, I don't think we've ever had. So,
Getting all the churches and school and
yeah,
everything.
the churches, schools, KRM, might come down and do a lot of broadcasts. Got a first community credit union coming down, doing the dunk tank, so if anybody wants to volunteer. Dunk tank.
Councilman McDaniel?
I've never been there today.
I mean, if the weather's bad or whatever, we have reserved the community center, so if anything weather-wise happens, we have a second venue to go to. So,
But that would increase the crowd size.
You know, I'm gonna do it for the Parks Board later that month, so. We have a little competition to go.
Other than that, everything's going smooth right now.
Awesome.
Any questions, comments, concerns?
Everybody? All right. Thank you, sir. Appreciate you. All right, here's the city administrator's bi-weekly report, please.
Okay, you have your financial statement for the period ending August 30. And so y'all can take a look at those. If you have any questions or concerns, we'll be happy to address those. September's, this is not in the financials there, but September's tax payment came in $51,831.38. That gives us for the fiscal year $1,049,734.96. I was off by $235.
How's it been?
I was off. I know Philip should have bought more stuff for that house. But that's,
No, I shouldn't have.
is Mr. Jones out there?
You know where he drives?
No, sir.
No.
Okay.
You know what? He's not saying that, that's why I came out here to check.
Yeah. Couple of quick things, as I noted earlier, I've got a number of employees out this week, and I've got a number of employees out next week. I'm signing white slips. I've got a whole stack of them on my desk, so we're not shutting things down, but we're clearly slowing things down. We plan to finish the Park Road after October 1, the last part of it. We'll finish that out. Let's see here, TML. I sent everyone a text message, and I heard back from Bob, and I know that Darlene's going. I need a go, no-go by Wednesday. We won't lose any money on your registration or hotel, but I can take a staff member instead, and so If you choose to not go, if your plans have changed, let me know, and we can get some folks going. It's still going on in Houston, although Darlene and I were talking before. I don't know about all the other stuff, the receptions and all those things that they typically do in the evenings. I have no idea if those things are going to go on or not. I think they're just trying to figure out where the dry rooms are right now at the convention center. The sidewalk grant, I spoke with Kate Howard this afternoon, excuse me. After hearing the comments on September the 12th tax rate hearing, I don't know if we have enough community support to proceed with that grant. That's one of the criteria, it's one of the form criteria that we have to have. And so I'm kind of playing that one by ear. We can have an up or down vote on October the 2nd. But if we don't get the support from the vendors and the shops and the merchants on 8th Street, 9th Street, 7th Street, there's no point in applying for it because the funding's so close that you got to have maximum points for everything. And so she took all the docs this afternoon, but we have not submitted anything, and so we just didn't simply have enough support last week for us to really proceed with this. That is to say, if there's any merchants out there who do want it, let me know. But we may just do an up or down vote on October 2nd. Okay. Speaking of October the 2nd, I'm going to ask council if we can move that meeting to noon. As I told you guys in the text message, we're going to leave on October the 3rd around 9 a.m. and drive to Houston. And so I'd like to have a noon meeting on October 2nd so we can get out. I'm not trying to pack a bag for a week and all those other good things you got to do. But if that's possible, let me know. If that's conflicting with someone, let me know. Depending on if it's Eloy or not, we may just have it anyway. Bonita, when I brought the idea up this morning, she loved it, by the way.
Make no difference. Make no difference.
That's my report. Any questions?
October 2nd, is that the next meeting?
Yes, sir, it is. That's the first meeting of the new fiscal year. We'll have a lot of regulatory things. I did get a proposal in on the depository contract. And so we'll have to take that issue up. I've only received one proposal on the depository contract. We will do an engagement letter with Gayla Fullerton, who's the CPA, and so we can get those things prepared. My mom just texted me. We'll do an engagement letter with Gayla Fullerton and take care of some other regulatory things that we do the first year.
Anything else? Yes, no, answer? All right. Here, request for future agenda items from city councilors. Anything else we need to get on the agenda, please?
I'd like to
Yes, sir.
say something right here, just kind of give y'all something to think about. We have several residents here in town that's living in a home without utilities. And I've talked to TML Legal. There's not a state regulation or state law that regulates whether they have to have utilities or not. You know, we can do this through ordinance if we require people to have utility service, water, gas, electric, sewer. And so if I can get with them in the next few days, we might look at something I know there's several cities in, are in the state that have these regulations, something we might look at to present to y'all. And also just something for you to think of, and that's, having to, issuing a certificate of occupancy for rental properties. Before someone can move into a rent house, it has to be inspected.
Okay.
I've had a lot of people call after they've already got in the house, wanting us to come up, and look at it and make the owner do something,
Okay.
And I said, well, what do we do?
No.
And it's something we might look at. And
Is it along the same lines?
yeah, yes.
Okay.
And it creates a lot of work,
No.
and it's time consuming, but, it's something we might want to look at.
If we could have a pretty good idea of how many cities have those kind of ordinances, that would help too. To make sure that we're not out there on the bleeding edge.
Yeah.
It's fairly common in your larger communities. I think it's a good thing because when you move here and you're renting a property, you don't know who you're renting from. And everybody does the same thing when they walk around the house. They go around, they look at it, and they figure out is it big enough, but they're not looking at the water leaks or pipes or things of that nature. I think that would probably help address some of the issues. I know that we've had people move into rental properties. There's a water leak on the property, and so they're getting a $300 water bill right out of the jump. This might alleviate some of those issues. It's an upfront cost, but typically it's worth it.
Well, there was one that moved in, they actually, and this is something I heard, is along the same lines, is they moved into a house they thought had air conditioning, they had no air conditioning. The lady was 6 months pregnant, they had to go out and buy air conditioners. So that wasn't told to them up front. They paid the deposit, and they said, sorry, this is it.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. So,
Would we have to increase staff to get that done?
Oh, maybe about one. It's just.
I think I've got a couple of ideas.
can do it. I like it. And Steve, since you were speaking on that, I'm just going to throw this out there, and I know we probably haven't followed up with you, but you did present some stuff on the repairs to the sidewalks as far as a machine and some different things.
Yes, and I've got those numbers right here. I apologize for throwing that on.
Okay, my fault. I'm not trying to pick on you, I was just asking.
During my manager's report, my mom texted me, they just put my grandfather in the hospital. He got two. Materials are about $4 a square foot to just resurface these sidewalks. The average sidewalk's about 300 feet, and the average sidewalk downtown is about 10 feet wide. It's just swag. So if you take that, you're looking anywhere from 3,000 to 4,000 square feet per one side. So you're looking at about $24,000 to $32,000 for one block.
Both sides?
Both sides. If you did labor, you probably just need to double that number. So anywhere from $65,000 to $50,000 to resurface these sidewalks for one block, both sides.
And that was that stuff that you presented that we looked at that time?
Yes.
Okay, awesome.
And how much was that grant?
The grant's $300,000. Regardless of what you do, you're going to spend some money on engineering.
Even if you resurface?
HUD's going to require
I
that.
think the complexity, the only complexity for me in that sidewalk grant is the liability issue.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we've had somebody come to city council complain about it. So if somebody does trip on that sidewalk and break their leg, there's potential liability there. That's not all the sidewalks. A lot of the sidewalks seem fine.
Right.
And that's why, a wholesale change out doesn't sound good. But
Well, there's places that are on that don't have to be touched.
Right.
Some of that, some of them are fine.
Right.
And then you go for a ways and, and you got a problem.
Well, thank you for doing that. Appreciate it. All righty. Anything Anything else? We're good? Nobody's talking. All right, we're gonna jump back up, and I need a motion to table the EAA presentation from Mr. Bobby Jones, please.
You want me to make sure he's not back out there?
I guess. I figured he would have come back in by now.
I figured he would too.
While
He's
Stan's,
sitting in his car.
while Stan's doing that, parked out front on your way in, you can't miss it. This is the new fire truck, that we got for a grand total of $7,000. It's a new brush truck, Brent loves it.
Nobody else does.
He was driving through Abilene with the windows down and just, you know.
I don't know why he can't speak to you.
The cold weather uniforms changed, we're getting one of those fur caps with the red star on it.
Yeah, that's terrible.
Give it a while.
Comrade Alan Zinski.
Yeah.
Stan, you out there?
I didn't see him.
I make a motion that we table, the presentation from Bobby Jones on EAA.
Second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All righty. Motion to adjourn, please.
Make that motion.
Second.
A second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Have a good evening.